Happy Aloha Friday, Destination Changemakers, and welcome to this edition of Travelers Book Direct live in the Destination Changemakers fort. And I am so happy, I'm pumped up to see you today. We are going to talk about a few interesting things here, but just a little housekeeping. First of all, we meet here every single Friday in our free group, and we also push to maybe LinkedIn and YouTube Live on occasion, right? But if you want to make sure to catch this broadcast and catch Wendy and I, or either one of us, make sure that you sign up for the group here. And today it's just me, and that's because we're going to talk about maybe a little bit of the seedy side of the internet. And Wendy Jae, she would absolutely have nothing to do with that. As we all know, she is, well, Laura Ingalls, right? She's the Laura Ingalls of our organization. And let's just jump into this. I'm going to go back quite a few years, and there's a knock on my door, and the guy asked me, is this David Tucker? And he says, sign here. And I signed for this chunky envelope, and I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at the sender, and it's Maesri, Biteau, and Brockovich, right? Attorneys at law, Beverly Hills, California. And I'm thinking to myself, they've probably heard of me, right? And then the light goes off in my head. I'm like, oh, this is the law firm that was actually talked about, was featured in the movie Erin Brockovich. So I rip open the envelope and I open this big document, and sure enough, signed on the bottom is Erin Brockovich's signature. And I start going through this cease and desist letter. I didn't really know what it was because I'd never had one before. And as I got down, I saw that it was being delivered to me from the beautiful and talented Miss Pamela Anderson. And I said, uh-oh. You know, I mean, lawyers, they only send you two things, right? Bills and bad news. And this was bad news. So the Russians, they had found me on one of those old-time chat forums. I was bragging about how I could put any web page on the front position of the search engines, right? And back then, the search engines were a little different. It was InfoSeek and AltaVista, and I'm going to date myself now with those two search engines, right? But I was bragging about it, and this person sent me a message and said, if you really could do that, I'll pay you $100. And I said, send it over. And I put it up on my domain. Yeah, I actually had my own domain back then. And boom, number one. And he says, send me your phone number. I'd like to talk to you. And so sure enough, the phone rings, and this man with a very heavy Russian accent, he says, I'll pay you, right? And he said, what we'd like to do is we'd like to just pay you to put some of these pages up, $100 a page. And I thought, my ship has come in, right? This is going to be an incredible deal. And I explained to him this tactic, you know, it only works for about, well, 48 hours, and then the page sort of disappears off the front page. He said, we'll do 12 of these a day. And so I did. They had some of their own domains, and I didn't know whether he was working for the organization that they were talking about, or they were what they were doing, right? What they were doing was up to no good, though. And for about 40 days, I kept having to go down to the wire transfer MoneyGram place and pick up my $1,200 a day, or money orders would pour into my address. And I started to become a little suspicious, right? Like this seems to be too good to be true. And then the algorithm changed. They caught on to this tactic. It stopped working. And I lost contact with these people, right? I couldn't do the job. They didn't pay me anymore. But what eventually happened was I ended up getting that cease and desist order. And I called the Russians up, and he knew what was coming. And he said, they're going to talk to you. And if you ever mention my name or anything about who we are, remember, we have your address. And fortunately, when I talked to them, all they wanted to know was how their content had been hacked, right? And I said, that's easy. Hire a web developer. All of your file folders on your website are unprotected. They have no index on them, and anybody could download your content. And so that was the end of that. But I was so nervous that I put myself into a self-confined witness protection program. I took that money that I had brought in and I moved to California. And that was the end of that. Today, you know, tactics like the one I was using back 20 some odd years ago was called keyword stuffing. And that stuff, it absolutely does not work today. The search engines, Google in particular, has gotten super smart, right? And so today it's all about best practices. There are still some of the people on the internet that will do that black hat, we call it black hat type SEO. Uh-oh, if I got this hat on right. That's not what we do, right? And that's not what we do at Travelers Book Direct. But there's one thing that hasn't changed, and that is the fact that at any point in time when you start an online marketing optimization program for whatever you want to achieve, keywords are part of the equation. And we have come up with an incredible way to deliver you your most profitable keywords for the cost that we do, right? And that's the first thing that happens when you sign up for Travelers Book Direct is we deliver to you your top money-making keywords. And it's the 80-20 rule, right? It's this 20% of the keywords that are going to deliver 80% of the revenue over time. And I know exactly what your keywords are. And I don't care if you're a hotel, an inn, resort, a bed and breakfast, a destination marketing organization, even an adventure tour company. I don't care where you are in the world. I already know what your keywords are, okay? And I'm going to show you how I know. And this is not criminal. This is a program that I've developed over years because Travelers Book Direct is all about taking my knowledge from all these years and handing it over to you in a way that is usable. So I'm going to do a quick screen share here, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. And if I can do this. Yes, yes, I can see it. All right. Can you all see my screen? Can I get a thumbs up out there? All right. So this is the Travelers Book Direct keyword program. And I know what your keywords are because they're all geocentric, right? They're all around your events, your activities, your property type. And so this is an internal program. This is top secret. In fact, nobody outside of Travelers Book Direct, outside of my Ohana, has ever seen this. And here's what we do. It's not going to take us a month to figure out your keywords, okay? In fact, it's not going to take us a day. And I know there's companies that do that, right? Digital marketing companies, they charge you for a whole month worth of research. Maybe they just don't know the space. I don't know. But here's what we do. I'm going to come in and I'm just going to say, let's have a brand new hotel that's called the Crest Inn, and I'm making this up. Let's say they're not a branded hotel. They're not a Marriott. Let's say they are in San Francisco, and the state is California, and a modifier for that would be the Bay Area, right? Now, we're going to jump in. What type of hotel are they? Well, let's say they're a suite hotel. They're also a beach hotel. They're an adult-only hotel. And we can go ahead and say they're just oceanfront, right? And I hope you see where I'm headed with this. What kind of experience can you get there? Well, they're on a golf course. There's a running trail right there. You can add some additional experiences in here. They are downtown, great nightlife, beach, ocean, convenient to the airport. Yes, yes. All right. And they are in the city. All right. We can put in any additional major attractions there. Let's keep going. Yeah, they got a bar and a lounge. They have a fitness center. I mean, this is a luxury upscale place, right? And of course, they've got the mini bar. They've got a pool. They got room service. Oh, I love this place already. And what kind of deals do they have, right? Well, they run some packages for the city, and they've got some promo codes online. Well, I hope you see where we're going with this. Now, this place is for singles. It's for couples. It's for business people. It would be great for romance. How about a weekend getaway? Yeah, let's do that. And they don't offer any sort of weekly, monthly, or extended rates. Oh, let's say they do a day rate. It's to their pool. And then we have, it's an urban, rustic, chic sort of place. And they are on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Oh, yes, they're players. They're in TikTok. You better be in TikTok too. And they're great for spring break and summer vacation. What's the last thing? We've got a custom tab here. So we're going to go all the way back. I don't know how long that took me. Oh, I'm running over time already. But I'm going to say that we're going to now go to our custom menu. We're going to generate the keywords. I run this script. And boom. So there's all the keywords that they need for everything with all the modifiers, including accommodations, including lodging. It includes all of their amenities, services, geolocation, and so on and so forth. And I know these are the top money-making keywords for them because I've done the research and it's specific to their property, right? And so this is what you get. This right here is worth the price of an entire year for Travelers Book Direct. You'll find digital marketing companies, charge top dollar for this all day long, but I already know you, right? You and I, we're connected. And so let's go to the next place here. And I can see Wendy Jae is already looking at the clock going, he's running over. I'm going to tie this up quickly though, I promise. So we take those keywords, we put them in our TBDx impact reporting, and we go to the rank checker and we find out how you score in the search engines for these search terms, right? And so here's the beautiful thing, right? For this particular property. Now we're looking at a real report here because the Crest Inn was a made up thing. We can see they have all of these beautiful search results, not only for their website, not only for their local search, not only for their ads, but also TripAdvisor, Yelp, hotels.com, Facebook, Priceline, right? Like we figure out where they are for everything. But I'm going to scroll down all these beautiful search results here because everywhere you see a number is where they show up in search. And I'm going to go down to the ones that they don't score for, right? And this is where the rubber meets the road. This is where they're going to go, oh, I need to improve. Now, the other thing we do in Travelers Book Direct is we bring in your competitors. And yes, so not only are we looking at you, but we're looking at 4 top competitors. And what that does is it creates this gap, right? This gap analysis of where you come up short, where you are not competitive, and where your competitors are beating you, where you need to improve. And then you just dive directly into the Travelers Book Direct training, our live trainings, our one-on-one trainings, and we show you how to score for every single one of these things. So what ends up happening is when your property gets searched for, and this is just an example, Boutique Hotels, Encinitas, California. I don't know if you've ever been there, beautiful place, but super competitive for boutique luxury hotels. How is our target doing? Yeah, they come up right on front for local search, and they come up right on the front page for their property website, which is pretty cool because they're beating, hotels.com, and they're competing with TripAdvisor and Expedia, Yelp, all of these places that, have a lot bigger budget for marketing than they do. So I'm going to stop my screen share here. I hope that was useful for you. What I'm trying to convey is what we're doing is all white hat SEO, but it's almost criminal, the price that we are charging for this, because right now Travelers Book Direct is only $127 per month as a member. And you get all of everything I just showed you in the first 48 hours. Plus, this is just the tip of the iceberg. There is so much more. So I just also want to say I honor you and thank you for being here, spending time with me, whether you're watching this live or whether you're watching the recording. Cool, either way. It's almost the holiday season. And if you need something like this for next year in your marketing arsenal, I would suggest that maybe now is the time to do this, because this will all be ready for you to go. This will all be ready to go for you on the first of the year. All right, so we are here in the Travelers Book Direct group every single Friday at 11 o'clock, sometimes Wendy, sometimes me. That's 11 o'clock Mountain. And I also want to say, happy Aloha Friday and happy holidays. I hope you're taking a little bit of time off and you're relaxing, right? You're getting ready. You're getting ready for what's about to come next year, because it's going to be huge for all of us. And I want you to be on the inside with me so that we can make this happen for your property, for your business, for your career, and for your life. All right. Next week, I believe it's going to be Wendy this year. Either way, we will announce it. We super appreciate you. And I hope you're going to have an amazing weekend and holiday season. Aloha.